Jenna, whose eyes had remained trained on the same general area where Reese had been standing, caught a dark blur of movement in the trees. Her blood and body froze. She choked on a gasp, and her heart skipped a beat. The breath in her lungs was snatched away so suddenly that her chest ached, and she felt every single hair on her body stand up straight, like they too were witnessing the horror of what she was seeing. Something was staring back at her from among the trees. It was tall and coated in dark fur. Or was it hair? And it was standing on what appeared to be two legs, with one massive hand, with fingers, pressed against the trunk of the tree. Huge nostrils flared in a human-like face as its chest rose and fell in quick bursts, like it was breathing hard or smelling the air. When it locked eyes with Jenna, its lips peeled back to reveal teeth that looked ready to tear and rip. Jenna wanted to shout at Reese, to tell her to look, but the most she could do was wiggle her fingers in Reese's face. Her friend must have thought she was messing around, because Reese only swatted back at her fingers while laughing. Jenna's brain tried to classify what she was seeing, but the only results she could conjure were images of great apes. Her brain wanted to accept the ape theory, but her gut disagreed. Her muscles, which had felt like gelatin just seconds before, were now tensed and ready to flee. Her body and her animal instincts were screaming at her, telling her to run from this predator. Reese was still facing the ground, checking her shoelaces and bobbing her head to music only she could hear. Troop 3122 was moving along the trail without them. Less than 75 feet away, a creature from a horror story was stalking them, and only Jenna knew. Look! Jenna managed to huff out a few syllables that sounded like words, but she couldn't get her tongue to move properly. Finally, Reese popped up with a smile on her face, her shoulders wiggling as she got more into the song, but the happiness melted from her face when she caught sight of Jenna. Reese yelped, "Jay, what's wrong?" The thing bared its teeth at Jenna, and then, in a fluid motion, it sank behind the tree. It wasn't gone. It hadn't run off. It was lurking behind the tree, just out of sight, and Jenna thought that was more frightening than having to look at it. Jenna's brain found words again. Did you see it?" she shouted at Reese.